B2B marketing is up for a major change and it's not optional. This is going to completely change how we think about professional marketing. So, here's what's happening. Gen Z is flooding the global workforce. We are talking about 27% of the global workforce, and that's happening right now. These digital natives are bringing completely different expectations about how they want to be marketed to, how they search for information, and how they engage with brands professionally. On the other side, LinkedIn, the platform we have all been using for B2B marketing for years, is witnessing a major shift in its identity as a professional networking platform. Over the past few years, it has emerged as a lucrative platform for building a personal brand. With Gen Zs joining the platform in large numbers, its algo is getting tweaked to attract these younger users. And in doing so, it's fundamentally changing what it means to do B2B marketing. Clearly, B2B marketing must change. But how? Let's take a look. It is estimated that Gen Z now accounts for about 27% of the global workforce, and the percentage is expected to go up to 30% by 2030. In some markets like India, it could be as high as 58%. And these are not purely entry level positions. According to some estimates, 37% of Gen Z professionals are already in management roles, which means that they will be influencing purchasing decisions and becoming the gatekeepers for vendor relationships. Forrester's research shows millennials and Gen Z now comprise 71% of B2B buyers. So, in just a few years, the majority of your potential B2B audience is likely to be Gen Z. This clearly means that B2B marketing needs to change because Gen Z doesn't behave like the generations before them. This not so subtle shift brought about by a new generation of workforce requires a proper understanding of how they think and behave online. First of all, they are digital natives in the truest sense. They didn't adapt to the internet, they were born into it. And this has created some fascinating behavioral patterns that are turning traditional marketing on its head. So, their online search behavior is very unique. Traditional B2B marketing has been built around the assumption that people use Google to find solutions. The playbook, SEO, content marketing, and trying to rank for industry keywords. Well, Gen Z is breaking that playbook. They are showing a 25% decrease in Google usage compared to Gen X. Instead, 46% of them prefer social media platforms over traditional search engines. 40% are using TikTok and Instagram instead of Google search or maps for recommendations. But it's not just where they search, it's how they consume content. They favor short form videos. They want bite sized, engaging content over those lengthy white papers that B2B marketers have been churning out for decades. These trends clearly show that all the established practices followed by B2B brands and marketers for online discoverability need to change. What that means is that all those beautifully designed and rigorously optimized landing pages or well researched white papers may never get accessed by Gen Zs because they are not looking where you think they are looking. Quite possibly, they are on TikTok researching software solutions, or they are asking LinkedIn connections for vendor recommendations, or they might be watching YouTube reviews before they even think about visiting your website. Conventional wisdom might make you think that Gen Zs won't behave in a similar manner when it comes to professional communication. But that is wrong. Your polished corporate videos might be less effective than having your actual employees share behind the scenes content. Your executive thought leadership might resonate less than authentic stories from your mid level managers. Their expectations of authenticity and genuine connection carry over into their professional lives. They are bringing the same energy they have on social media to their LinkedIn interactions and business decisions. This brings me to LinkedIn and how Gen Zs are influencing to reframe its identity. And I think it's for the better. The platform has traditionally been this formal corporate networking space where people posted announcements about new jobs and shared industry articles. The very reasons why B2B marketers love the platform. It has delivered them brand reach and visibility very, very well. But Gen Z is changing all of that. They are bringing authenticity, humor, and personal storytelling to LinkedIn. They're treating it less like a digital resume and more like a social platform where they can build genuine connections. For LinkedIn, it means adapting to the cultural shift that the true digital natives are bringing to the platform. The platform seems to be shifting from professional networking to a more comprehensive social and professional content hub. I could not find a very reliable data for this, but some estimates show that personal profiles receive 847% more reach than company pages. 847%. Personal posts achieve 2.75 times more views than company content, and they generate 5 times more meaningful conversations. Company pages now make up just 1 to 2% of users' LinkedIn feeds. I feel for the B2B marketers who are putting in countless hours to pushing their branded content on the platform. If the future generation of workforce is skipping those beautifully curated company pages, polished messaging, and thought leadership pieces, the traditional B2B marketing playbook is effectively obsolete. Gen Z's search for authenticity and real stories is now being rewarded by the platform. This means that there is a fundamental shift in how professional relationships are built and how business decisions are influenced. Now, what do the B2B marketers do? You can't just flip a switch and start marketing only to Gen Z because your existing audience, Gen X, millennials, even some boomers, they're still making purchasing decisions. They are still your customers. Gen X expects professionalism, detailed information, and traditional business communication. They want case studies, ROI calculations, and formal presentations. They are comfortable with longer sales cycles and appreciate relationship building through traditional channels. Gen Z, on the other hand, wants authenticity, visual content, and immediate value. They research independently before engaging with sales, make faster decisions, and expect brands to align with their values around sustainability and social responsibility. Basically, B2B marketing, as we have known all this long, is being pulled from all sides. Quite many brands have adopted people-centric marketing to take benefits of this trend. Because when a CEO or industry expert shares their personal story, insights, and behind the scenes content, it resonates with Gen Z's desire for authenticity. But when that same content is professionally relevant and value driven, it also appeals to Gen X's expectations with business communication. The key is that it has to come from individual people, not corporate accounts. Gen Z has grown up seeing through corporate messaging. They want to connect with humans, not brands. And interestingly, Gen X is also responding well to this more human approach to B2B communication. This is why we are seeing such a massive shift toward employee advocacy and personal branding in B2B marketing. Companies are realizing they need to empower their employees, especially their leaders, to become content creators and thought leaders on platforms like LinkedIn. Employee advocacy is not a new concept. It's just that Gen Z's preference for authenticity has placed it in the spotlight. I talked about it in an earlier episode. You can find the link in the description. And how does this people centric marketing look like for B2B brands? Go big on employee advocacy. Start treating your employees' personal brands as business assets. That means training, enablement, and maybe even incentives for employees to share company content with their own perspectives and commentary. Completely rethink your content strategy. Instead of creating one piece of corporate content, you might create supporting materials that help five different employees share their unique takes on the same topic. Then, this approach of authentic marketing might seem too messy for B2B marketing. And it is. Embrace it. Be okay with employees sharing content that isn't perfectly on brand because authenticity trumps polish for Gen Z. And optimize for social search, not just Google search. That means thinking about how your content will be discovered on LinkedIn, TikTok, and other social platforms. Particularly when Instagram and Reddit content is now appearing on Google search, this is necessary. Looking ahead, I think we are heading towards a world where B2B marketing looks a lot more like B2C marketing. More personal, more authentic, more human. It's about building genuine relationships and providing real value, not just pushing products and services. The companies that figure this out first are going to have a massive competitive advantage. While their competitors are still pushing corporate messaging that gets buried by algos, they'll be building real relationships with both their existing customers and the next generation of decision makers. But this isn't just about changing your LinkedIn strategy or creating some TikTok content. This is about fundamentally rethinking how your organization shows up in the world. It's about empowering your people to be the face of your brand. It's about embracing authenticity over authority. The bottom line is that Gen Z is already in your market, whether you're ready for them or not. And LinkedIn's transformation is just the beginning of a much bigger shift in how professional relationships are built and business decisions are made. B2B brands need to adapt quickly to people centric, authentic approach to marketing to thrive. I hope you liked today's episode. Make sure you follow for more such content and possibilities in marketing.